What's up, players? Welcome to Sims Tennis. I've got another racket review for you guys. Today we will be reviewing the new Babolat Pure Strike 98 16x19. So I got 3 of these rackets in order to see what the range of specs are and to get a peek into the quality control as well. I'll put those measurements up on screen before we get into the play test, but first let's talk about the new Pure Strike 98. Even though it's been almost 5 years since we've seen an update to the Pure Strike, the changes remain pretty minor. They've added NF2 tech, which is the addition of flax fibers in the handle aimed at filtering out vibrations, and they have also claimed to tighten up the string pattern with FSI control. The specs, however, remain the same as it retains the 21, 23, 21 tapered beam, a 305 gram weight, a 32 centimeter balance, and an unstrung swing weight of 300. Here are the specs of the 3 rackets that I got. You can see that the unstrung swing weights range from 295 to 306. The weights range from 303.8 grams to 308.2 grams. And the balances range from 31.8 centimeters to 32.4 centimeters. I think that quality control is pretty bad, to be honest, as the range for all 3 specs is pretty wide for only measuring 3 rackets. I also think that since this racket swings with a pretty beefy swing weight, if you get something over spec like the unstrung swing weight of 306 that I measured, most people are going to struggle to swing that consistently over the course of a long match or a practice. I chose the racket with a swing weight of 295 as my demo, and I strung it up with 1.25 Wilson Revolve spin at 46 pounds. This brought the strung swing weight up to 326. Okay, so now for the play test. I had mixed expectations going into this review as I did not like the 3rd generation of this racket, but the 2nd generation of this frame was one of my all-time favorites. In my opinion, although the feel of these 2 rackets was different, I think that the increase in swing weight from the 2nd generation to the 3rd was the biggest change. The swing weight with this new 4th generation Pure Strike remains high, so for me it plays more similar to the most recent 3rd generation. On ground strokes, the power of this racket was the standout feature. The layup of this frame is relatively stiff compared to other rackets in this category, so you get more energy returned to the ball. The racket also provides some good mass-based power due to the higher swing weight, and that combination of the higher swing weight and the natural power of the frame was a love-hate relationship for me. I found myself struggling to control the depth of the ball at times because when you make good contact with the ball, it really takes off on you. I would compensate for this by trying to cover the ball a bit more, but the racket is not all that maneuverable, so it was tough to consistently do this and time the ball well, especially against incoming pace. This was only an issue on the forehand side, as backhands with the racket were great. The maneuverability was not an issue on that side, and the plow-through power was welcome. It was easy to hit good offensive balls off the backhand side, and the easy access to power allows you to turn defense to offense. On volleys, the racket was good. As long as you could just get the racket into position, you have plenty of mass and power to do most of the work for you. I found it to feel really controlled, as well as it gives a nice direct point and shoot feel out of the string bed. Returns with this racket were solid, but nothing to write home about for me. The maneuverability isn't great, so I had to really focus on a short backswing and catching the ball out in front. It works well if you do this, and it also works well for blocking or chipping back returns. The mass and stability are definitely there, so you can consistently hit deep returns as long as you're able to maneuver the racket into place. Serves with this racket were great. As long as you have good enough technique to get the mass going, it offers good pop and precision on flat first serves. I also felt like I was able to get a good bite on the ball, so spin serves were good as well. Slice serves had a nice mix of driving through the court while also cutting away, and I felt as if I was able to get a nice jump off the court on my kick serves as well. This is definitely one of the more well-rounded rackets for serving. All right, so who's this racket for? Overall, this is a good racket for advanced level players who are looking for a good mix of power and precision, but don't place a high value on spin. I can see strong players with good stroke mechanics dictating points with this racket, and I can also see counterpunchers sitting behind the baseline using it to redirect pace and dig out of corners. Okay, so that's all for the review. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. Also, please consider subscribing, and don't forget to embrace the grind.